Okay, so you got the cruise booked and got a fantastic deal for $2,000 or less for a family of 4. Would you be surprised to know that there are hidden fees pre- and post-cruise that you need to account for? Sit tight and be amazed at how much this is really costing you. If you were able to snag a deal for $2,000, then congrats are in order. Do you have any furry friends that need pet sitting? Even if you have a cat that is pretty self-sufficient, you may want to invest in an automatic pet feeder if not on hand. Pet sitting fees can range from $20 per pet per 2 pets per day or more for drop-in feedings or 1 walk per day. Budget and more if overnight care or multiple feedings per day or walks. You can opt to have family, friend or neighbor stop by, but most people feel more comfortable having a reputable service as to avoid any last-minute hiccups, as most pet sitters have backup helpers. Now this next pre-cruise expense is no surprise to you if you are not new to cruising, but always much deliberating is whether to drive or fly. Now, although driving looks like the clear winner here, depending on where you live, that may not necessarily be practical. The bulk of most cruise ports heading to the Bahamas, Mexico or Caribbean are based out of Florida. If you live in the Midwest or West Coast, driving does not make the most sense. Even if you live nearby, it is recommended to always arrive the night prior unless you are within a 4 to 6 hour vicinity to avoid road construction delays, accidents, etc. Also be mindful when booking cruise and stay packages that many times the price is inflated, so a standard hotel of $150 may actually end up costing you $250 or more, and typically only includes free transportation for 2 people to the cruise port. Though you will avoid the cruise port fees by having your car remain at the hotel, many hotels will disclaim they are not responsible for car break-ins or missing items. Also, some people don't like to drive their personal vehicles due to mileage, so add rental car fee to this option if you don't drive your own car. If money or budget is of no concern, flying is definitely the way to go if more than 6 to 8 hour drive. It puts less wear and tear on your car and your body. Most airlines now charge bag fees, and even more if you wait until the day of departure to book. Buyer beware. Discount airlines are great, but many times have more hidden fees down to advanced seat purchase and even overhead carry-on. So sometimes, that $49.99 ticket will cost $200 after associated fees. Having done both discount and regular airlines, you have to decide what's most beneficial. For example, I frequent Allegiant Airlines and it includes bags for free for veterans. Beware though that Allegiant normally operates out of regional airports, which is a great option for nervous flyers, but they typically only fly a few days per week and the cruise port might be within a 1 to 2 hour drive. If the airline cancels, there are not very many options other than refund or waiting for an alternate day. Try to use routes that fly daily and only if the route makes sense. For instance, if you have to drive 2 to 3 hours to your nearest Allegiant Airlines departure airport as well as an additional 2 to 3 hours at your arrival airport, it may be worth it just to go the traditional routes such as Delta or American. But then again, if you live on the West Coast, 5 hours of driving vs 40 hours plus is always a better option. You must weigh the pros and cons, price by price and time, and that isn't even including delays, layovers, flight times. Just like the driving option mentioned prior, if you opt to fly in the day of your cruise, you are playing with fire. If said flight is cancelled or delayed, even with a major airline, that ship will not wait for you, and some travel insurances are non-refundable, read the fine print, for missed flights. While they may reimburse you for the flight, you might be out money for the cruise, and at the end of the day, was booking that flight the same day worth the risk of missing out on your week-long vacation? We will save the onboard expenses for last. Now on to post-cruise fees. Yes, I said it. This is the part that every cruiser hates, the grim reality that the cruise is truly over. The good news here is that whether driving or flying, because everything else has pretty much been paid in advance or based on round trip, the only expense now is basically one meal out on the way home or at the airport. Please don't book your flight before noon. It's simply not worth the headache or nerves to book a sooner flight. Even if you time it perfectly between eating your last meal on the ship, eating snacks and flying straight home, trust me. I always budget a meal out that evening, as the last thing you want to do is cook the first night that you get home. If budgeting lunch and dinner, opt for lesser expensive options like a large pizza with sides just to keep that last hurrah less than $100 for 2 meals. Ah, you're on board. Finally, if you have made it this far, then you have probably already purchased your travel insurance, shore excursions, dining packages and prepaid gratuities, aka tips, to name a few. What starts out as this? quickly becomes this once those onboard fees, pre- and post-fees tally up. It doesn't take long to see that many times, those fees are more than the cruise itself. Do you have any money-saving tips that have worked for you? Please comment. Thank you. Happy cruising.